God. This is not good.
Where are we?
Where are these 4 irons? All that MOI, Dan. Right guys, Mark Crossfield here with Dan Hendriksen on camera. Hi Dan, we're at Torquay Golf Club. How you doing, Dan?
I'm very good, Mark.
Good man.
Hi everybody.
Hello everybody, it's Dan.
Everybody.
We are going to be doing AP3.
Oh, I like this.
So this is the new one from Titleist. This club has not existed before. There's AP1, 2, and now we seem to have AP3. Let's talk a little bit about where it sits in the sets of all the APs and other clubs Titleist make, and what it might do for golfers looking to kind of lower their scores, I guess. Let's get stuck in. Right, shall I tell you about AP3, Dan?
Yes, please.
I've got it on my phone here because you know what these companies are like. Combines distance and forgiveness of AP1 with the looks of AP2. So we're going to be getting distance, kind of what AP1 does. Low spinning is what that does, and which gives it more distance if you get the right launches with it. But then it's getting the looks of AP2. Now just on that subject alone, it does look AP2-ish and nice. But we're getting this kind of hollowed out back, so they're calling it unique hollow blade with undercut design. So this is hollow basically in here. It's got a HSS Alface insert, cast 1714 body, so that's the steel, high density tungsten weights, 1/3 of the weight of the head. That's 3 to 7 iron. And then in the 8 and 9 iron, it's just a 714 face insert, and then pitch and wedge is solid cast body face. So basically it's an AP with a lot of jazz, while keeping the looks of AP2, which is definitely a loved club in golf on professional tours and kind of amateurs alike. So there's a game afoot, Dan. I'm going to challenge you, AP3 challenge. It's AP3, so we're going to play 3 shots.
Okay.
4 iron.
4 iron.
From 210 out. We're going to then move forward to a 7 iron at 160, and then we're going to move forward to a pitching wedge at 100 yards, which is less than our pitching wedge number.
And we're going to go centre of the green.
Centre of the green, because the greens are on temporaries because they're doing work on them. So it's centre of the green.
Okay.
AP3 then. Looks, what are you thinking?
Very similar looking to the AP2, personally.
Too much offset for you then.
Here we go again. Too much offset. Yeah, definitely a similar sort of look. Maybe is it slightly longer? Slightly longer in the head?
Well, it looks that way.
Definitely feel that that's the case. I like it, you know. I think it's a very playable looking club. I'd be really interested to, you know, with this hollowy bit going on here. I'd just like to get a feel and sound off that and see what that does. So and that might, you know, that might bring me around as well. But
sole's medium. It looks almost AP2, AP1-ish. Sole,
definitely that helping sole, isn't it? Probably trying to.
But then the top line does feel more AP2, I would say.
Definitely, yeah. It's moving from thin to medium, isn't it now? But nice looking head. Nice looking
green then.
Middle of the green.
Let's have it. 4 iron.
Right, you're having it this time.
Closest to the green also counts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a massive bail. It's gone over here.
What is that?
What is that? That one's meant to give you more help, brah. So I know that went quite a long way right, Daniel Sam.
Disappointingly. Again.
How did it feel? Sound and that?
It felt nice. Obviously club face was a little bit open at impact. Love to have seen the numbers on the launch monitor for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, looks of that. So I'm seeing AP3 almost like a very much in there for people who want to combo set.
Yeah.
But that is a good amount of offset, isn't it?
It's plenty.
And I'm seeing a little bit of the head out the back. I kind of feel like I would just want to go AP1. Like if I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna call for help, which is fine. I use a rinky dinks. I use a hybrid. I don't even use a 4 iron, so call for as much help as possible. I'd rather do that. I'd rather go like all the way, AP1, all hybrid-y kind of stuff. So really now the game's turned into closest to the hole.
Well,
not the hole, like this is the 11th or whatever it is, it's who can stay on the 11th.
Just remember there's a little bit of water down the left and you do not want to be putting it in there.
That's still on our hole though, isn't it?
That is true.
God, it's in the air, isn't it? Look at that launch.
It's off a downslope.
I mean, that's a decent shot. That's kind of where I hit the last one.
Yeah.
So if you watch the other video, pin eye just to the right. Well, this ball is above my feet and off a downslope with a 4-iron, which is a club I don't game, and that just went in the air, no problem. I get that. Like that. The shot, sound, the feel is better than that look for me. Let's look at the dry ball data we took inside earlier on. So 7-iron spinning, or going 162 yards for me, spinning at 6.3. So the numbers that it get off the launch monitor don't fit with the AP1, 2 and 3 numbers in my head, which we'll talk about a bit more later going on. But it basically kind of sits for me between AP2 and AP1, right in there for distance. So it's a bit longer than AP2, but not as long as AP1. Yeah, we'll talk about it more. This one's a bit confusing. So down 163, average spinning at 6.1. So again, within the whole range of AP, it kind of fits into a slot, doesn't it? It's kind of medium spin, medium distance. Yeah.
Just sits right in between the two of them, doesn't it?
What I like with Titleist is the numbers are doing exactly what they say they will do.
Yeah.
And Titleist are very good at that. So dry ball numbers are interesting, Dan, aren't they? Because I don't really quite, apart from maybe combo setting.
You're not sure, are you, about these?
Well, they don't fit. They certainly don't fit in the AP1, 2 and 3. Because, do you see what I mean? We kind of worked out that you almost, in our head, you need an AP iron, which is AP2.
Which is the AP2.
AP1, which is AP... No, so AP1 would be these.
Yeah.
And an AP2
and then AP2 would be the
AP1
current
now.
AP1.
That's... Because it kind of sits there, just in between.
There's a jump going on, isn't there?
Yeah, and that's what the numbers are kind of showing. That's kind of like, I'm a little bit like, what is this club doing? Like, what are you doing?
Not sure where they sit and what they're doing.
You're talking like such a small amount of revs difference on the spin and launches.
Yeah.
But then again, you do get such a small amount of weight of the club isn't the weight. So obviously MOI factors of this are going to be higher, but actually getting someone to see that, certainly in a test, is
Are they looking at the guy that really struggles to hit the AP2,
but wants it,
but really wants it,
but then doesn't want AP1 because it's chunky monkey.
Because it's chunky. It doesn't, I mean, looking down at the AP1, it is a chunky looking club, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, Dan. I think it's literally in between there for people who, like, why lose that guy for a sale?
Yeah. No, they're absolutely right.
Do you know what I mean? If they don't want AP1, which I understand, they want AP2, but don't feel that offers enough help. Yeah. Well, here goes AP2.
And it's similar, isn't it, to the AP2? Why do guys have the AP2? Because they love the look of the blade. Yeah. Not feeling they can be confident with the blade, so they go to AP2. Whereas this one, maybe that's a similar thing going on.
I think you've cracked it, Captain. He's pushed that as well. I'm going to up it. Right, hit the green makes me 2 up. That's exciting in itself. AP3, again 7-iron, little bit of offset, blade length, bit longer, thicker top line, but certainly not fit compared to AP1. I think Dan's nailed it really. It's kind of fitting a gap which is just about there, and then I think opens up the combo sets massively. I do see how the combo sets will open up. Just got to be careful with your combo setting as well, that spins don't kind of jump between clubs, that you get bigger gaps than you want. Remember, they can change the lofts in custom fit as well, so you might need to tinker the loft to make sure it's fitting the gap you're trying to hit. Yeah, it does feel nice.
That's nice.
That's the middle, I think.
Middle for diddle. Winner.
Chicken dinner. I have to say that felt better than I was expecting. It did feel quite responsive. The numbers on the spin, as you saw, did drop down a little bit low for me, but still very gameable. Yeah, I mean, it did feel quite springy in the middle of the face. And I don't know if that's just because I've read the guff and I'm thinking that way because of this kind of hollowed out design ideas. But that felt quite nice. So with 100 yards again with the wedge. Now the wedge. Now the reason I like choosing 100 yards as well, if you haven't seen the other videos, is I like to try and show you that testing clubs isn't about just trying to hit them as far as possible on that launch monitor. I will need to hit a wedge 100 yards sometimes because it'll be into the wind, uphill, I want it going in lower because I want it to release different. So I need to be able to play certainly a wedge as well as other clubs, but this as much as anything in that kind of gaming position, that gaming environment. Because this wedge for me would go kind of 120 to even 130 if I stepped on it, so I'm going to have to play down the shaft and knock it in. But I'm surprised how good this wedge looks. I wasn't expecting this wedge to look as nice as this. Apart from slightly long, very thin now top line, next to no offset, and just a nice shape. Right, nearest the centre of the green, I'm 2 up, so I can't lose. Not that I like to talk about it. That does look good. I'm surprised how good this looks. Slightly pushed, but I reckon that's distance.
Good for yardage.
I've got the distance down now on this 100 yards. I know where I'm going to, you know. Looks of the wedge, Dan, what are you thinking? It is better than
it is. It looks nicer this way,
yeah.
and then it's maybe a bit long for me that way. So, but I like the fact that I feel like I could probably do a little bit more with that sole. Well, we got 100 yards here, so yeah, I feel like I could play around with that a little bit more.
Okay. Can you win one? 100 yards.
Knockdown.
Knock me down. You don't like the knockdowns being a little bit of a sling drawer, do you? As much.
Working on that page.
It's gone quiet. Oh, it kicked right.
Did you see that bounce?
God, this is not good.
Where are we?
Where are these 4 irons? All that MOI, Dan. Is that a ball there?
Feather.
Feather. Doesn't matter.
Here it is, look. Here it is.
Progressive CG for some.
It was good for yardage.
Yeah.
And I've got a shot.
Oh yeah, you lucky bugger.
I'd be quite happy with that.
There it is. Look. It's there.
And I've got a shot here.
Yeah. Good shot, bro.
I felt like with that wedge, I could now manipulate the sole and play a nice up and down from there.
Turf interact. There's your 7 iron. Not inside my 4, bro. That is a grouping, isn't it? 4 iron, wedge, 7 iron, middle of the green comp. And Dan's wedge as well, just got a bad bounce to be honest. He would have been just inside mine, I think. So AP3, Dan, where do you stand at the end of that little test?
I stood 3 down.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
AP3 equals 3 down.
3 down for me.
3 up for me.
You know, I do get it. The more we discussed it, the more we talked about it, I do get where these kind of sit.
Yeah.
I think Titleist could have probably done a little bit more with the number, as in AP3, where that sits in between the two, AP1 and AP2, and
yeah.
Why does that sit in between AP3? But I get it. You know, I think it's for the player that likes the thought of being able to hit the AP2 and likes the look of the AP2, but actually is probably more of an AP1 player.
It does. It's a very small gap that they've squeezed it into, and I could see a lot of people going AP2 irons and then AP3 long irons, 5, 4, even if I don't know if they make a 3 in these, and then AP2 down. So I do think it opens up the combo ideas a bit more. I also, Titleist are big on custom fit, and they're really pushing on custom fit at the minute, and I think this just gives them more options in their fit to make sure people aren't not buying Titleist because they can't hit the 4 iron in the club they actually like the look of so much. So almost like they're a bit punished for having clubs that look so good. Does that make sense? Like, we all want that bladed one, it looks so nice but we can't hit it, oh, so I'll go somewhere else. They're saying no, we've got a combination of that in this. So I get AP3 as well, I think this process has been quite interesting to do. Post comments down below, and I think it's a process more of you need to be doing, getting fit, trying to test them on the course, and if you test them on ranges and front launch monitors, try and play gaming shots with them, ones that you're seeing us play in these tests. Post comments down there below. As always, hit the thumbs up button if you like the videos. Thank you, Dan, for your time.
Thank you, Mark. Enjoyed that.
Unlucky today. AP3 down. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of AP3. Would you try it or not?